What's going on, everyone? So, yesterday we got the announcement for the opening night schedule, and the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Denver Nuggets in Denver. It's very likely going to be the ring ceremony, so that'll be pretty interesting. And the Phoenix Suns will take on the Golden State Warriors. I love day one. That should be a lot of fun. Two great games against, with four great teams that all have championship aspirations. So it should be really good, really competitive. But more than anything, I am excited for the Denver Lakers matchup. Denver has talked a lot. Specifically, Mike Malone, the head coach, right? Talking about Denver being the Lakers' sons and, trashing LeBron and all that stuff. The Lakers are going to have the revenge game early. And I do fully believe the Lakers beat Denver. I get Denver is at home. I get that it's the ring ceremony. I get that Denver is still very good. But there's several reasons. One, Lakers are going to be heavily motivated. Usually that team is heavily motivated because it's the ring ceremony and teams, they kind of step up extra for that game because it's kind of like they want to be the one that spoils the celebration. It's why you see across all sports, it's actually pretty common for those teams to actually lose that game. So you have that in the Lakers' favor, but they're going to be extra motivated because of all the talking Denver has. And on top of that, you're going to have LeBron and AD fresher than they've ever been, right? You also have the championship hangover, right? You see it with all teams, right? Like even the Warriors last year, you were clear and apparent. But you kind of have you win the championship, you're still coming off that high. You usually see teams kind of have to wake up a little bit, and other teams kind of step up more because you're the defending champion, so they kind of want to prove and beat you, and then you got a target on your back and all that stuff. So that's another factor I think that kind of goes into play with the Denver matchup. But also I think Denver has regressed slightly. Now, not majorly. I don't think Denver's going to go from being a title contender to a 7 seed or anything like that. They're still going to be one of the better teams in the NBA. But I do think, one, the Lakers matchup size-wise way better. Lakers are now much deeper. The question is going to be the chemistry. Can they build the chemistry quick enough to where they can opening night really have the impact and really kind of dominate the opening night matchup? That is, I think, a very real possibility, but it is a real question. But I do think Denver did take a step back in the sense of they lost Jeff Green, who was a guy with size that played a key role for Denver and was also a vet guy, locker room guy, all of that. And they lost Bruce Brown, who was huge for them and was their sixth man and was a real key important piece against basically everybody, right? And was torching the Lakers. And now they lose two of their main 7-8 pieces that really they leaned heavily on. And now they're going to have to rely more on Braun, which, maybe he can step up more. I mean, he was really good for them, especially in the finals. He had his good moments and bad moments, but the NBA Finals, he was actually very good for them. So does he kind of take that next step? Does he kind of, become a bigger piece, a bigger role, and is able to capitalize on that, kind of be their sixth man? That's a real possibility. But I definitely think Denver is going to have, some of the struggles, and not even just against the Lakers, just in general, right? Because of all the things that I mentioned. But the Lakers, whenever they were going to play Denver, you knew that they were going to have that circled 10 times on their calendar. That was a game that they were going to want to show up, especially the first matchup, right? Because the first matchup is the game that really you can kind of set the tone with. Also, you got to keep in mind, during the regular season, right? Because Denver did sweep the Lakers in the playoffs, but during the regular season, the Lakers have had Denver's number, right? They've done a good job of beating Denver. And look, even though Denver swept the Lakers, this is a completely different Laker team. It's also there's motivation, incentive, but that Lakers team didn't have the chemistry that they'll have going in, because even the other guy, even the new acquisitions, right? The core pieces are going to have more time together, more experience together, more understanding and learning, and that plays a role. And it's not like Denver just ran through the Lakers, right? Like, all of those games, like the Lakers could have easily swept or won in 5. It's just they couldn't close down the stretch the way Denver did. Denver really did a great job of closing down the stretch, but it still took heroics from Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray had his best playoff series of his career during the Lakers. Jokic was just ridiculous, hitting insane shots. Like, it took the ball falling the right way on several occasions for Denver to beat the Lakers the way they do, right? Like, if Denver doesn't sweep the Lakers, I'm not saying that the Lakers would have won the series, but if that series was, say, tied 2-2, right? Like, if the Lakers ended up coming back and winning game 1, we could have been talking about a very different series. But it's coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? Lakers, end of the day, they got swept. Denver handed it to them. Got to credit Denver, right? Denver deserves all the flowers of the defending champions. But you don't think the Lakers feel like they need to prove a point? You don't think that LeBron and Anthony Davis feel like they need to prove a point? Even if Denver wasn't talking all the mess that they were talking. Even if it was just a normal game, right? And there wasn't all the extra incentives for the Lakers to win this. You don't think that the Lakers would still want to prove a point and would still want to show up big on the road in Denver against the defending champions, who Denver was very hard to beat in Denver? Of course they would. And then on top of that, you add in the fact that Denver was doing all this chirping. I don't know how you can't look at this and go, oh, Denver's in trouble, right? And look, could Denver win the game? Of course, Denver's very good. It is very possible. I just personally don't see it. I don't see Denver winning this game. I think the Lakers have all the motivation in the world. And look, whether the Lakers win or the Lakers lose, I don't think either way it's something that is like, oh, this is a sign. Like, you know, if the Lakers could beat Denver by 30, that doesn't mean Denver's like fell off or they're, you know, going to be a bad team this year, right? Denver could beat the Lakers by 30, and that doesn't mean the Lakers are not good and, you know, it's like, but I do think this is going to be a real statement game for the Lakers. Like, if Denver loses, I think it's a loss, right? But if the Lakers lose, I think it'll be a little more impactful. And I'm not even talking about from like a fan perspective, because you know all the trolls, all the nonsense, you know, like the borderline Laker fans are going to be like, oh, like the Lakers are in trouble, blah, blah. I don't mean it like that. That the Lakers aren't worried about that, but I think the Lakers are going to, again, they have that date circled. They're gonna want to prove a point. They're gonna want to make a statement. They're gonna want to do all these things. And if that all is the case, and the Lakers show up, and you have Mike Malone standing on the other side, Darvin Ham is, you know, he had some words to say, right? And he wants to prove a point and show that stuff. Like, if all of those things are to be true and the Lakers lose, I think that hurts the Lakers more than it would hurt Denver, right? If Denver loses, right? I think Denver could write it off as like, hey, you know, they got up for that game. Of course, you know, they can kind of just shrug it off as like, hey, you know, we had an extra motivated Laker team, right? No big deal. Where if the Lakers lose, it's like, damn, man, like, that's 5 straight games we've lost against these guys. We got a new route. Like, it could, I'm not saying it will fully, but it could become something, right? And hopefully not. Hopefully if the Lakers do lose, they just put it in perspective. But I don't see it. I genuinely believe the Lakers are going to smack Denver. I do. I think, and when I say smack Denver, I don't mean that they're going to win by 30 or anything like that. I just think that I think that they'll be in pretty good control most, if not all, of that game. Like, I think the Lakers are really going to want to, like, all right, let's show you how good we are. Like, let's show you what all your talking did. And I think that that's huge for the Lakers. I think that that's significant and important. And I think that that would be a good starting point and add a lot of confidence and just like, all right, let's do this thing. You know what I mean? I think it'd be a good step in the right direction for the Lakers and a good sign going into the season. So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it's not necessarily a must-win game, but do you think like it's an important game? Like it's a game the Lakers have to win in a sense? Do you think, no, it's no big deal, just another game? I have a feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.